Hey everyone, welcome to Analytics Everywhere. This is going to be a Power BI tutorial sessions. So this is going to be introduction sessions, and this entire tutorial is gonna be from introductions to intermediate Power BI. We are going to cover on that, and you don't have to do anything as such. Like you just have to follow along. Everything will be provided from link to the data file. So I'm hoping after completing all these videos, you will be more confident to working with Power BI and you will have better exposure. So let's get on to the Power BI.
All right, let's download the Power BI. So there are two ways you can download the Power BI. One, if you come here to this link and you can scroll it down, you have an options to download. Second, you can go to the Microsoft Store and you can just write Power BI desktop and you can just download that. I'll show the second part after that. I'll paste this link to the description box where you can pick it up directly, or you can go to the Google and just write download Power BI desktop. Once you click on that, you are in the link. You can just click on the link. The first link, whatever you get, you click on that, and it takes you to the same page where you have an options to download. Okay. If you scroll it down, you get the details of the versions, like what versions of Power BI you are downloading actually, and then you get the file name. Like for example, there are two files you can see right now. One is for 32-bit, one is for 64-bit. Okay, you get a little ideas of the Power BI desktop and its capabilities. And if you scroll it down, you have an options of checking your system requirements, like what the supporting, what your Power BI. If you are downloading Power BI, then your system should have this at least a Windows 10 or Internet Explorer or 10 or greater, and then this thing should be there, like Windows Server 2012, Windows 8 or something, Windows 8.1. If you are using something older than that, then you won't be able to use a Power BI seamlessly. So you might have a problem, or maybe it will not work. So make sure to check this out, your system requirement. And there are some of install instructions are there, which generally, and you can just read through it. Is a very single liner. Once you're done getting a bit of knowledge here, you can just go here and click on download. Once you do that, you get two options. One is this one, PBI desktop setup.exe. This is nothing but your 32-bit, for your 32-bit desktop. Make sure to check what desktop of the laptop you have. And then second is the 64-bit. So generally we use a 64-bit laptop. I am using 64-bit laptop, so I'm just clicking on that. And once you click on download, the download will start. Okay, you can see that it's downloading. It will take some 2-3 minutes to download. Let me show you another way to download your Power BI desktop. Second, you can come to directly to the store. To come to the store, you can just click store, or you can see I have already searched the store. That's why it's already there in my pinned section. I can just click on Microsoft Store. It will open the same window like this, and where I can just write Power BI. And once I write Power BI, I can just select the Power BI desktop app. And this once this is done, you get an options of, you see there is an option open. Now, if you have not had any Power BI yet on your system, you will see a download options over here. Just click on that and it will download automatically. Okay. So this is the way you can download the Power BI. And once your download is over, you can just follow along. It's very simple steps. You just have to follow along the steps, and you will be able to download and install your Power BI on your system. All right, let's now go back to the Power BI desktop. Now, once your download is complete, you have installed the Power BI. Now it's time to move on to the Power BI desktop and understand that what exactly uh, the Power BI desktop is. Now, how to open the Power BI is very simple. Similar to any other app on your laptop system, you can just write Power BI here, and you can click on the Power BI desktop. Sometimes it takes a little time depending on if you are opening a already working file of the Power BI, or maybe if you have worked already have worked on with the data with the Power BI. It might take a little time on in that case, but generally, once you click on that and you type on that, you will get landed to this page. Now, this page is very simple. This is just a starting page of your Power BI desktop. You have the options of selecting data here already. You can see, but we will just talk about later part of the videos that how you can select data and what are the options. It's better not to select the data from here. Okay, and then you have something called intro, like you can read through some of the details. And secondly, you have some of the working file. If you have already worked on your Power BI file, you can actually go and click on that as well. That would be available over here. For creating any Power BI desktop report or dashboard, what you have to do, you have to click on the blank report. Here, this is the options where you can select your blank report. Once you click on the blank report, you will land again to this page. So this is our Power BI desktop main page. Okay. Now this is the page we are in, is the front end of the Power BI desktop. We have a backend which is a Power Query, our Power BI desktop. Okay. Apart from that, we have a third leg of the Power BI, which is the cloud section or the Power BI service we have. Now, this three part we will work on today. We'll just try to focus on the front end part of the Power BI in these videos, and we'll try to understand that what are the modes are there, and how we can actually upload the data, how we can get the data from a different sources, and what are the options available on the Power BI. Okay. In the Power BI desktop or the front end of the Power BI, generally we call GUI, the graphical user interface of the Power BI, has mainly three tabs. Here, if you see, we are right now in the report view. This is your first page where you actually create all the visuals, select all the options from here. There are two other tabs. One is your table view. Once you click on that, you get to see the data here. For that, we need to have a data, and then we have something called a model field. Now, let's get the data first so that we can see at least how it looks like on this section. And now, additionally, whoever is downloading the Power BI now, then in the latest version, we have a tab available for DAX query. Okay, so instead of getting into the in depth of this, let's get a data first. To get a data in Power BI, there are uh, there are multiple data sources available from where you can get your data. But these sections, the data sections, actually the options from where you actually can load your data. So to load your data, let's say if your data is sitting on Excel, you can just rightly click on the Excel workbook directly from here. And if your data is sitting on in different data format, you have to select in this section. But ironically, if you look at the Power BI desktop, you see that there are four other options available. The quick options, what you call generally available on Power BI desktop. This is all the options actually from a Microsoft own tool. Excel is owned by Microsoft. SQL Server again owned by Microsoft, and then you can paste your blank data. I mean, it's a very simple thing, and then use a sample data. If you click on this part, this actually Microsoft has its own data sample data sets. You can actually import that data and can work on that. You can try this out. And for this one, we are going to load the data from this section because our data is neither sitting on the Excel nor on SQL Server. So we have to come here and we have to come to the get data section and click on the down arrow. Once you click on that, this is the quick options available again for to load the data. Now this is the first option, the Excel workbook, and then remaining you can see we have Power BI semantic models, data flow, data was, SQL Server, and I think there are almost more than 250 plus data sources available for Power BI, and this makes the Power BI one of the greatest tool in the market in the BI space. In case if your data sources is not here, what you have to do, you have to come here and click on the more, and then you can probably see all the data sources available here. If you scroll it down, you can have almost all the data sources available in the market. Now, that is also divided into multiple parts over here. One is the file sections, one database, like if your data is sitting on any of the database, you can select on that. Or maybe you can just write here. If I write Azure, then whatever Azure SQL database, Azure Synapse Analytics SQL, and whatever like related to Azure will come here. Okay. But in our case, our data is sitting on CSV. So I'll just click on the text or CSV format. Mm. Once you click on that and you click connect, it will take you to the folder sections of your local machine, because we're just trying to connect our data from the local machines. Okay. Now you have to click on that, and either you double click on the data or you can click open. Once you click open, it will try to create a connections between your data and the Power BI desktop. And depending on your data size, sometime it might lag a bit while uploading the data. Once you click on that, you will see this kind of window, which is nothing but a preview of your data. You can understand, you can see all the columns, like are you downloading the right amount of data or not. And this is based on your 200 rows. The delimiter is a comma. We are actually got a data from a CSV, so that's why we are getting comma. And this is a file origin. You can see that this is a Windows file origin. Okay. And we have an options. We have three options. You can even refresh your data again. Let's say you have got maybe you're using something a live connection, and your data get refreshed maybe in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. In that case, you can refresh and can check that is there any additional column has been added or any other changes are there or not. Now, once you are sure that your data is correct, either you can do a load and you can transform data. Now, this transform data is nothing but it will take you to the Power Query window, and load will directly load to your Power BI desktop. So let me just load the data for the time being. We can also, there are options, we can go to the Power BI Power Query directly from the Power BI desktop as well. And in any case, if you are not sure about the data and you see that this is the wrong data you have selected, you can just come here and cancel that. Now I'll come here and quickly click on load. Once I click on the load, it will start creating a connections between the data and the Power BI desktop again. And you see that it's creating connections between my data, and I have actually connected all the data. Okay. Now, once the data has been already connected, I can actually come here on the table view section and I can click on that. Once I click on that, I can see that all my data are there. So this is my table view section. That's the work of my table view. And the third part of the Power BI desktop is the model view section. I can come to the model and I can see there are one data sets available. Now, if there are multiple data sets, you can create a connections between these data sets, which we'll talk about later in the videos. In a different video, we'll talk about how we can create a connections between two data or multiple data sets, and how we can how that can help to analyze your multiple data through one another. Now, once you have loaded your data, now you can start working on the data part. But before that, let me give you a very quick idea about the Power BI desktop, how what the fields are there and how you can actually use that. The first section you are in is the home section, right? So this section exactly the data sections where you can actually get all the data from. This is your query section. This is a query section in the sense you can refresh your data. If you click on that, it will refresh the entire data set you have here on the Power BI desktop, or you can transform your data. So these sections will take you to your Power Query window. And this is the data source settings. Like if you click on that, this will actually show you that whatever the data source you have and whatever the sources you have been using. Third part, third part is the insert part, where you can insert your visuals from here. Or you can use actually this part again for your visuals, inserting any visual. Okay, this part is now the calculations part. This is for specifically for the tax, which we'll talk in other videos, like descriptions of tax, how you can use the tax and all this thing. And this part is for your Power BI Cloud, where you can publish your cloud. You can connect the Copilot with the Power BI desktop and can get your work done through the help of AI. Apart from home section, we have called insert sections. Like you can go to the insert part, and again, there are a couple of visuals which is not available on that sections can be available here. You can add that. This is what we call a AI visuals, like something it has a capabilities to work similar to that. And then we have something called again the visual sections is there, which is repetitive from the home sections. We have something called Power Platform, which is not scope of this video. And this is a good part, which is the elements of your Power BI Extra, where you can actually add, any text box or any buttons or any shapes in that sense. For example, if I just, add one text box over here, I can just easily do that by click on the text box. Once I click on that, it will, then I can just write maybe a sales dashboard. Once I click on that, I can increase my font to 16, or maybe I'll make it a little better. And then I would say, this is my sales dashboard. I'll reformat it a little bit. I can change my, this to this, the formatting, and then I can use that. This is the sections for that. The third part is the modeling section, which is nothing but your the model view sections, especially for that, which you can actually create a new column, new table by using your formulas and functions. This is for your exactly you can create your new parameter, which is once you start working on the Power BI, you'll get to understand that. This part is the security part, where you can actually create a row level security on the sections, and this is your setup of the Q&A, now natural language, linguistic schema. All these options are available on that. Okay. After that, we have something called a view sections. Here you can actually work on the themes. Like the theme we are right now in is a very default theme. You can select your any other themes. Like you can select, if I select this one, it will change the background of my sections. Okay. And also I can come back and click on the default theme, which will again get back to the default theme. And again you can select on the any other theme you want. You can browse the theme from the internet if you want to. And maybe if you have any other theme in your mind, or maybe any picture theme gallery, you can use that. You can actually insert that theme from here, and then you can go to the theme gallery as well, like which is a store of the Microsoft. And then from there you can actually download the theme if you like to, and then you can insert that theme back to your Power BI Excel. This is a very good option if you want to beautify your dashboard, but not need it all the time. Okay. Now the second part is in the view section is the page view section, where you can actually, so right now is a fit to page, you can make it a fit to view section. Like the it will change the size of the of the blank space over here, these particular sections you see, and then you can do actual size. It will make a changes, and you have to scroll it to down. Let me change to the page to view sections. Now you have another sections called mobile layout sections. Now either you can select this is your Power BI desktop or the laptop view section. And if you have if you are creating your report or dashboard for your mobile view section, then you can create actually on the mobile layout section. If you click on that, it will change the sections over here, and you see that it has changed actually to your mobile view. And if you notice that on your down, that has changed to again to the mobile view. So you don't have to always come to the view section and can do that. You can come quickly over here on the desktop layout if you want to get back to the from mobile view to the desktop layout, and you can actually go back to the normal. Now, other part of the view options is the grid line. Like, for example, the view options available on Excel, where you can select grid line and not select grid line, which is similar options available on Power BI. You can click on that. You see, you can get all the grid lines. If you want a snap to grid, you can actually get that. Okay. Uh, there are options which is lock the object. You can actually lock the object, and that will lock your all the objects over here. The last part of the view section is the show pane sections, okay, where this is what we call pane. For example, this is my visualization pane, this is my data pane, this is my filter pane. Now, these two are actually great. It means that this is a default pane on Power BI Desktop at this version. But this filter pane is an additional pane we have added on here. If you don't want to see the filter pane, what you can do, you can click on that and it will remove the filter pane from your Power BI desktop, which will help you to create your visuals better in more authentic way. And then you have the other sections, which is bookmark. You can do a bookmark, and then you can do a synchronizing the slices all together. You can analyze the performance. You can selections and all this thing, which is a intermediate and the advanced Power BI options available on Power BI desktop. Now, once you have, I'll just get rid of the bookmarks. I'll just keep the. I can actually, expand and collapse the pane as well, which will not take the most, much space on the Power BI desktop. Once I am done with that, I can again go back and start working with the Power BI desktop. We have two other options. One is optimize, which really you can come and you can do some of the optimization in the Power BI, but you hardly come back and work on this part. And then the last one is the help sections, where you generally work on all the Power BI community, Power BI blog, if you want to do, if you want to understand some, get some support from that. OB has their own training videos, lectures, guided. There is something called PL300. Is an examinations for the Power BI desktop, for the Power BI certifications. For that, this community, these Power BI blogs, and all these things actually is very very helpful. So this is an overview of the Power BI. Before we end to the first sessions of the first video, where we talked about all the Power BI, let me create a very basic visuals using our data. Now, once you are in the data tab, here I'll just collapse the part right now. You can, once you expand that, you see all the details of the column over here. Like there's a category, there's city, country, customer ID, discount, order date, and everything. So this is all your data, and you can also select get your data from the table view as well. But let me just quickly create a one simple visual. How do I do that? So there are two ways. Again, either you select your data and you select your visuals later, or you can select your visuals already and you can select your data. So for example, I'll just try the first. I'll just select my data, it's my category, and then I will add my total sales. So by default in Power BI, it comes as a table. But if I, let's say if I want to create a stacked bar chart out of that, I'll come here on my visual and I can create my stacked bar chart. And now I got my first visuals, which is my, it will actually showing me all the total sales amount by my category of the data, which is technology, furniture, and office supplies. But if I have to add data level, how do I do that? I can come here, I can scroll it down, and I can go to the data level section, and I'll click on the data level part. Once you click on that, and once I expand the chart, so it will come as a 4.1 million is coming on the technology part, 3.9 million is on furniture, and 3.5 million is on office supplies. Okay, but the name is not looking, great here. Sum of total sales by category. If I want to change the name, how do I do that? I have to go to the general section and I'll go to the title part. Once I go to the title part, I can probably just remove the sum, total sales, or maybe I can just get rid of the sales by category. And once you do that, and once you click enter, I want to keep my headings in middle and maybe a little bit of bold and italic. Okay, maybe I can increase my size. Here I can do that. Okay, so this is how you can work on your Power BI desktop, and you get your first visuals on that. Similarly, if I have to create, I'll just make it a smaller to make more space. If I have to create a visuals not by clicking on the data, but rather clicking on my any of the chart, I can do the similar thing by clicking on my charts, which is, let's say I select the column stacked column chart, which is already there here. And then I have to select my, maybe I'll just select a category over again on the x-axis, if you see, and I will select my total sales on the y-axis, and I'll get my data over here. If I have to format again, I have to go again to the format your visuals, and I'll go down and I'll go to the data labels. I'll click on the data labels and I'll add the data labels. And for the change of any name, I'll go to the general part and click on the title, get rid of the total sales and click enter. Maybe a bold, maybe in between, and I'll make it a italic. Okay, so this is two ways uh, where we can actually create our charts. Okay, all right. So this is a very basic of Power BI desktop. Now in the next video, we'll talk about more on on how you can actually transform your data. How what are the ways you can what are the other ways you can create charts. We'll talk about more on the charts, and then we'll probably look into more on Power BI desktop part.